it's Ed Martin, president of the Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, back for another fact check of Mrs. America, the FX-produced series that's streaming on Hulu, and they're lying again. This time, it's really important to fact check this one because they're lying about Phyllis's family, and they're being mean about it. They're using untruths to smear the family, and we need to break this down. So please like and share this with your friends, this video, and also subscribe down here so we can keep you up to date. And visit Real Mrs. America. You'll find out even more. That's realmrsamerica.com. Now let's watch what Hollywood is doing here. Watch this clip.
Right.
John, you're searching. Liza. Phil.
Who's Liza?
It's a nickname.
Phil is already a nickname. Why?
It's not important.
It's important enough for you to keep it from me.
Because I knew you'd react like this. It doesn't matter.
Well, it matters to me. Happen to like your given name.
Do you know how hard it is to be Phyllis Schlafly Jr. on campus?
Oh, there are a lot of students with famous parents at Princeton.
Not famous for being public enemy #1 of women's liberation. I've changed my name.
To what?
Liza.
That's not a very pretty name.
I think we're taking a break. Thank you.
Thank you.
You knew?
It wasn't my news to share.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize my name was such a burden.
I feel like Hester Prynne whenever I introduce myself. People laugh at me. You're famous, good for you, but it's embarrassing for me.
That's enough, Phil.
Busloads of my friends are headed to the state meeting tomorrow. They're feminists. They're interested in hearing what Bella Abzug has to say. You know, they all want to be Gloria Steinem, not...
I said that's enough, Phil. Now apologize to your mother. Right now.
This is just blatant lying. It's not based on facts. The producers of Mrs. America, the staff, the writers, Kate Blanchett, none of them wanted to check the archives that we maintain at the Phyllis Schlafly Center. They even refused our offers and the offers of the Schlafly family to talk to them. They just wanted to make it up. Now, I wasn't there for the Schlafly children's upbringing, but I know all of the children. And I've heard the stories that Phyllis told and her children told about a wonderful upbringing, about lots of joy and lots of fun and lots of things going on. Here, you're seeing again Mrs. America trying to smear that family. And in this case, they're trying to say that Liza was ashamed of her mother and her work. But it's just a lie. And a little bit of listening and checking the facts would reveal that Liza Schlafly Forshaw, her name is Forshaw after she was married, was a wonderful presence in Phyllis's life. She and her husband Joe have 3 children. Phyllis loved those grandchildren, loved to be around them and loved to see them grow. It's hard to see how Mrs. America can depict somehow this great disruption between daughter and mother because it's a lie, but they don't mind lying. You know, I know Liza Forshaw pretty well too over the years, and she's a lawyer, accomplished lawyer. As mentioned in the series, she went to Princeton and UVA Law School. And Liza emailed me after this episode, and she said this, and I'm going to read her words because I think they're better than me telling you. But you know what? Liza's words would have been available to Mrs. America, their producers, writers, and actors if they wanted to listen to the truth. Here's what Liza said. Contrary to the depiction of me in episode 7 of Mrs. America, I did not adopt the nickname of Liza in preference to my birth name of Phyllis because of liberal friends at Princeton University or because of political disagreements with my mother, Phyllis Schlafly. I adopted the nickname right before starting college and without family drama. It was simply inconvenient for me to use such a controversial and unusual name as my birth name proved to be in 1975. Among other reasons, and watch this, this is a reason that's at the heart of what the feminists say they care about. This is Liza Forshaw talking about her life and what she did. And she says this, among other reasons I used my name Liza is because I had taken up an interest in journalism in high school, which continued through college and beyond. And I needed to have a different byline from my mother, who was a prolific writer. At all times, I agreed with my mother's opposition to ERA, and my close friends knew it. This is Liza Forshaw's words right here. The Mrs. America scenes involving me, like so many other scenes in the series, are heavily fictionalized and give a false impression of what really happened. End quote. Those are the words of Liza Schlafly Forshaw, who watched the series and knew the lies they were telling. Now, one other detail, in our massive archive at the Phyllis Schlafly Center in St. Louis, Missouri, we have all of Phyllis Schlafly's notes, her date books, a record of everything she did. She was an extraordinary chronicler of history, and extended, by the way, from her early career in 1946 all the way through to 2016, when the year she died. In the years around the ERA, Phyllis kept a special record. Some people thought it was going to be a book. The tentative title was called The End of ERA, the end of an era. It looks like a play on the words, but the book, which was never published, is 200 plus pages chronicling all of the different experiences. Guess who traveled with Phyllis Schlafly during the ERA fight? Liza Schlafly Forshaw traveled with her mother. In fact, in the famous scene where Betty Friedan said she wanted to burn Phyllis at the stake, that was in Illinois State, and that was when Liza Schlafly was 14 years old. She was with her mother. In fact, all you have to do, Mrs. America producers and writers, is read the record. There's a Illinois State University College newspaper. It's called The Vidette. If you pull it up and look at it, you'll see this. Liza Schlafly, is quoted by the journalists who wrote in The Vidette on the Illinois State campus when Betty Friedan threatened to burn her mother at the stake. And here's what Liza Schlafly said at 14 years old. She said, she was quoted in the paper. First of all, the headline of the article was, "Schlafly's daughter holds mom's views." And then he quoted in the story, Liza says, she didn't want to be drafted, and she was against abortion, and she agreed with her mother. The direct quote Liza said was, "ERA is not going to help women." That's the record. Instead, we see Mrs. America trying to make a family look like it's straining and pushing and pulling. It's lies. It's lies, and it's unfair. And you should know it, and you should be aware of it, so the record is clear. You know, one of the things that's going on here is that Mrs. America and the left has an agenda. The agenda is to attack Phyllis's family, but that's because they don't believe in the family. They believe that the family unit should be all sorts of other things. And by attacking the family and saying that Phyllis was wrong and saying things like Phyllis was saying that the home is a place to find fulfillment, they're implying that her own family didn't quite have that fulfillment. It's nonsense, pulled out of nowhere, and zero credibility. They could have done their research. Mrs. America could have taken the time, instead of just making it up, to do their research, and they didn't. And the reason is because they don't want the truth. They want to hurt and damage families, and they want to hurt and damage the people who advocate for how wonderful families are and can be. It's not history. This is Hollywood. And I ask you to please like and share this, subscribe down below, pass this on to other people, and visit realmrsamerica.com to find out more. This is a fight worth having to make sure the truth is out there so people know what matters, what mattered to Phyllis. And it certainly was first God, then her family, and then country. She used that phrase so often. We'll talk again soon.